When you picture the perfect Jedi Master, who comes to mind? For most of us, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, patient, wise, a true beacon of the light. What if, instead of becoming Anakin's master, he became his hunter? Welcome back to Star Wars District. This fanfiction is born from the ashes of a world called Melida-Daan. To see where things went wrong, we have to rewind to 44 BBY. A 13-year-old Obi-Wan Kenobi is a Padawan under Master Qui-Gon Jinn, and they've been sent to the planet Melida-Daan. It's a world locked in a brutal civil war that's been raging for centuries between two groups, the Melida and the Daan. Their mission was simple: rescue a captured Jedi Knight. But what they find is a third faction, the Young, an army of children and teenagers orphaned by the war, fighting to end the very conflict that destroyed their families. In these kids, Obi-Wan sees himself. Their desperation, their fight for a just cause, underdogs taking an active role to fix a bad situation. While Qui-Gon preaches about patience and Jedi neutrality, all Obi-Wan can see is suffering that the Jedi Order refuses to stop. So he makes a choice. He stays behind, renouncing his life as a Jedi to fight with the Young. He thinks he's making the right choice, the compassionate one. But war is messy. The cause he sacrificed everything for starts to crumble from the inside, falling into the same bitter politics he was trying to end. His friend, Serenno, the leader of the Young, is tragically killed. In the end, betrayed by the very people he chose over the Jedi Order, Obi-Wan is left completely and truly alone. In our timeline, Qui-Gon is not quite the maverick, nor is he the polished and confident Jedi teacher that we have all come to know. He is still learning his teaching style and trying to balance Jedi rules with the needs of Padawan-master relationship. So, when Obi-Wan eventually calls the Jedi to return, Qui-Gon is lost in uncertainty and does not come back for Obi-Wan. On some level, Qui-Gon feels he is respecting his Padawan's initial decision and thus remains silent to the call. However, in a sly way, he does make a call and indirectly gets help for his former Padawan. Feeling alone and disillusioned, Obi-Wan does not know what to do anymore. But like magic, a quiet, dignified man arrives on the ruined planet. He looks at this broken boy and doesn't see a failure. He sees courage to act. He sees leadership. He sees a reflection of his own frustrations with the Jedi Council's inaction. He sees an end to the Republic's corruption. He isn't a Jedi, not anymore, but he offers Obi-Wan help. Count Dooku of Serenno, who was once Qui-Gon Jinn's own master. At this point of time, Dooku is in his truest idealism state of mind. He is not evil or overly violent. He doesn't talk about the dark side or offer unlimited power. He offers something far more seductive to young Kenobi: understanding. He speaks of a galaxy where strong leaders can prevent tragedies like Melida-Daan from ever happening again. For a boy who just saw the fatal price of Jedi detachment, Dooku's words aren't a temptation, they're a lifeline. He agrees to leave with him, not to become a Sith, but to become an instrument of real change. They get aboard Dooku's starship, the Solar Sailor, a beautiful Panwarka 116-class interstellar swoop, and make way to the pristine and orderly world of Serenno. Obi-Wan's education begins all over again, but this isn't the Sith training of fear and hate that Palpatine gives his apprentices. Dooku's philosophy is much more subtle. He teaches Obi-Wan control, pragmatism, and the art of using power with surgical precision to move like a ruler of a kingdom. He takes Kenobi's natural gift for negotiation and sharpens it into a tool for manipulation. He encourages patience and meditation. In addition, Dooku teaches Obi-Wan Form 2, Makashi, and teaches him how to turn an enemy's own aggression back on them. Obi-Wan never takes a new name. He doesn't carry a red lightsaber. He does not develop Sith yellow eyes. To the galaxy, he is simply Kenobi, Count Dooku's brilliant, charismatic, and ruthless right-hand man. Obi-Wan is absolutely convinced that he is saving the galaxy from itself. The faces of the child soldiers on Melida-Daan fuel his crusade. He will build a galaxy where no child has to fight a war their parents started. And he believes any means are justified to achieve that end. So, when the Clone Wars finally explode across the galaxy, the Republic faces an enemy it can't possibly comprehend. Kenobi is the architect of the Separatist Alliance's most brilliant and devastating strategies. He's not on the front lines leading droids. He's a ghost, a shadow moving behind the scenes, orchestrating chaos. His old title, the Negotiator, takes on a dark, ironic new meaning. On a world like Christophsis, where he once would have defended the people, he now brokers fake treaties to lure Republic forces into a trap. He uses his inside knowledge of Jedi psychology to turn their compassion into a fatal weakness, sending them on rescue missions that are actually ambushes. He anticipates their every move because he was one of them. Among the Jedi, whispers spread about a fallen knight, a phantom strategist who knows their playbook before they do. Masters like Plo Koon and Mace Windu find their legions outsmarted and their supply lines cut, not by brute force, but by impossibly elegant strategies. Kenobi never faces them in battle. His victories are quiet, intellectual, and utterly devastating, dismantling the Republic's war effort piece by piece. But what about Anakin Skywalker? Without Obi-Wan, his life is completely different. Qui-Gon still finds him on Tatooine and brings him to the temple. Seeing the boy's raw power and his desperate need for a father figure, the compassionate master Plo Koon takes Anakin as his Padawan. This Anakin is still brilliant and powerful, but his fire is tempered by Plo Koon's gentle wisdom instead of Obi-Wan's brotherly discipline. He becomes a paragon of the Jedi Order, fiercely loyal to the institution that gave him a home. He is the Republic's greatest hero, the chosen one, walking confidently in the light. And then the inevitable happens. On the world of Raxus, Anakin and Plo Koon lead a desperate offensive, only to find their strategies failing at every turn. Finally, Anakin corners the mastermind behind the Separatist victory. He bursts through a door and comes face to face with a man he's only heard of in whispers, Kenobi. Much like all other situations, these two Force users make contact with each other and immediately duel each other. Except this duel isn't about hatred, it's a clash of ideologies. Kenobi doesn't taunt, he lectures. With every block and parry, he deconstructs everything Anakin believes in. He talks about Qui-Gon, the Council's arrogance, and the children of Melida-Daan. The Jedi taught you to serve the Republic, Kenobi says, his blue blade effortlessly deflecting Anakin's furious attacks. But who does the Republic really serve, Anakin? The corrupt? The wealthy? It wasn't the children who died in the mud because a war was politically inconvenient. Anakin, his faith in the Order unshakable, roars back, "The Jedi serve the people, they serve the light." "The light blinded them," Kenobi says calmly. "Look at me, for example, one of their very own. I made a mistake and asked the High Council for their help. Forgiveness. They left me in that war as a punishment for not obeying, and they'll leave you too the moment your power becomes an inconvenience. Dooku opened my eyes. Let me open yours." Lightsaber blades continue to clash. Anakin, ask yourself, why are you so drastically opposed to listening? Why can't you hear another point of view? But Anakin refuses to listen. He fights for his master, for the Republic, for the Jedi. The battle is eerily similar to the duel on Mustafar. Anakin's power is a raging storm, but Kenobi is the unyielding mountain. He's the master strategist, the more experienced duelist, and he turns Anakin's emotions against him. Slowly, he has been forcing Anakin's inner frustrations to surface. Obi-Wan knows all too well that being a young Jedi means Anakin has years of suppressed feelings due to Jedi life. Suddenly, the fight ends, but not with a death blow, but with a precise, disabling strike. Anakin is left defeated, disarmed, and for the first time in his life, filled with doubt. Kenobi did not kill the Chosen One. He has broken him. With the Republic's hero broken and the Jedi's morale shattered, the Separatist war machine rolls to victory. The Republic crumbles. But Kenobi has been playing a much longer game than anyone, even Dooku realizes. He learned from Dooku to always see the bigger picture, and he's seen the shadow of Darth Sidious lurking behind his master all along. As the ultimate pragmatist, Kenobi anticipates the Sith Lord's betrayal. Using his spy network, he orchestrates a silent coup. He exposes Sidious's control over the Republic to the Separatists while simultaneously leaking Dooku's Sith identity. In the chaos that follows, Kenobi makes his move. He neutralizes a weakened Dooku and provides just enough intel for the Jedi remnants to confront and eliminate Sidious. But this isn't a victory for the light. In the power vacuum, Kenobi steps forward. He's seen as the hero who ended the war, exposed the Sith, and brought down the corrupt Republic. With the entire droid army at his command, he establishes a new government, an autocracy built on pure logic, efficiency, and absolute order. There are no more debates, no more corrupt senators. The galaxy is finally at peace. It's also completely under his thumb. The boy who went to Melida-Daan to end one meaningless war has finally ended all wars at the cost of all freedom. This dark timeline poses a pretty chilling question. Obi-Wan got what he wanted. He created a galaxy of perfect order to prevent the kind of suffering he saw as a boy. But in doing so, he became a tyrant far more effective than Palpatine ever seemed to have been. The hero we knew was forged by tragedy, but always chose the light. So what do you think? Let me know your theories down in the comments. What would have been the final fate of this dark Kenobi? Could a broken Anakin Skywalker ever rise to potentially challenge him? Or was Kenobi's cold, calculated victory the end of the story? And if you enjoy exploring twisted paths in the Star Wars universe, be sure to check out my other vids. Hit the like and subscribe for more. Peace and take care.